Hi, I'm Marie Plutt from aspirationsresume.com, here to give you your daily resume tip. Today I would like to talk to you about cover letters. And a very common question that resume writers get asked is, how important are cover letters? Do employers read them? Honestly, a lot. You'll see, I'm sure, if you've done online job applications. There are even some programs that don't even have a section for cover letters. There are some applications you might encounter where they specifically request that you don't include a cover letter. If there is an opportunity to present a cover letter that they are opening for you, and or obviously if they ask for one, you provide it. If they have a space for it, I suggest absolutely include a short cover letter. Some people still consider it a necessary courtesy. More of the old school recruiters will reject your resume if it doesn't have it because they consider it manners almost. And honestly, if you're up against somebody who's equally qualified and you gave them a cover letter and you didn't, they look more ambitious, they look more interested in the part, and so you put yourself at a disadvantage. So I always develop cover letters for my clients unless they specifically request that I don't. In terms of what employers are really looking for in the context of a cover letter, is really very important, this last paragraph. And a lot of people don't think about the last paragraph very much. However, traditionally, if you have issues to discuss or things that you need to address with an employer, you would do it in this closing paragraph. If you needed to smooth over any bumpy details of your history, this would be the area to do it. For example, there are items that now in modern online application systems, when they ask for a salary range, if you choose to provide it, I suggest don't. I think a salary is something that they should always mention first. Whoever provides a number first loses the negotiation, so let them make an offer first. But if there's something that needs to be addressed, you can normally address it in an application process. Otherwise, within the context of a cover letter, I use general statements that say something along the lines of, at my, based on my qualifications, my salary requirements are negotiable, and based on my qualifications, make me a real bargain to hire, essentially. But I don't like to live at least, give a number. I also use this paragraph a lot to discuss visa or travel issues, interviewing issues, relocation issues. A lot of that stuff is not addressed in online applicant tracking software and online application processes. And now these closing paragraphs are going to be very important, I believe, for a lot of people with the coronavirus crisis. There are a lot of people on furlough. There are a lot of people who can only work one day a week, special situations. So this last paragraph is traditionally where recruiters, their eyes go to see if there are any issues with the interview or anything that needs to be smoothed over, or anything that needs explaining or polished about your career history. For example, if you've done a lot of job hopping, I will take that opportunity in the closing paragraph to say, I've really enjoyed this diverse career of consulting contracts and temporary opportunities, but now I'm looking to plant my roots and to build something more for the long term. So that is why I talk about cover letters, is really that closing paragraph is very important. When I do cover letters, obviously I format them to match the resume. I'll typically do a plain text version for my clients as well, so that for online application processes, they just copy paste. I suggest, if you know the person who is requesting the resume, to use their first name, or I'm sorry, their Mr. or Ms., MS, period, last name, If you don't know who you're addressing the cover letter to, I'll put Dear Hiring Manager or Dear Hiring Authority. Keep it general. And then the opening should really go right into the value proposition. What are you offering to do for the client? Or not the client, what are you offering to do for this potential employer? What do you bring to the table? Then I usually do like a brief list of bullet points, a brief list of accomplishments, I should say, that make you stand out. Any description of a leadership style, sometimes I'll include that. But generally speaking, I do like to keep the content brief. In fact, I've worked for other companies who insisted that there are no more than 150 words in the body of a cover letter, which would be about half of the length of these. So more and more companies are opting for shorter cover letters. Make it brief, get to the point. A lot of times, understand it's probably not even going to be read for the most part. I will put in here when I have really great testimonials, I'll include them. I find them to be stylish and eye-opening and something that employers don't see very much. So again, it's a way to make you memorable and to get somebody else's perspective on what you bring to the table. It's also important that you know the audience you're referring to. If you are this one is for an employer. Would you like help in realizing radical revenue and profit growth? That would be directly to a hiring manager. This is a recruiter. Do any of your client companies need help in developing groundbreaking holistic marketing strategies that dominate global markets? So, and if any of your client companies would like to achieve similar results, let's talk essentially. So you address the resume or the cover letter, to the audience. Another tip, if you don't know the gender of the person you're addressing your resume to, then just do the full first and last name. You could do like Greg Hampton or Chet Hampton, or let's say it's Pat. Then you do Dear Pat Granley instead of Mr. Granley. So just keep it simple, get to the point, sell yourself as quickly as possible, explain any weird situations, and then get on out. Thank you for watching today's daily tip. Again, my name is Marie Plett, and I am from aspirationsresume.com. Please contact me today if you are seeking only the finest in resume development.